Residents in one Miami neighborhood fighting to stay in their homes after they say their leases were terminated with little notice.
And Local 10's Laren Livingston is live with their demands for the building owners right now. Laren, what are they saying?
Well, these residents and their lawyers say that they were victims of a bait and switch, and you can see some of what they've been dealing with for the last several years now, just the construction outside of the building. But despite what you see, the ropes and the etchings there and the concrete, there are people still living in this building, and they say they're not going to be forced out without a fight.
Aimco is a slumlord.
Many of these folks have called Hamilton on the Bay in Miami's Edgewater neighborhood home for 15, 20 years or more.
It is not acceptable for this multi-billion-dollar corporation, or any other corporation for that matter, to come to South Florida to buy buildings with the sole intention of kicking out residents who lived in the same home for decades.
We've learned the building was bought by Aimco last fall. Renovations have been ongoing since Hurricane Irma. Most of the residents, as recently as a few weeks ago, signed new multi-month leases. Last month, everyone in the building got notice that they'd have to be out by July 16th. The size and scope of further construction, according to the property managers, was just too extensive.
I understand what they want to do, but at our expense, it's not right.
Aimco is a slumlord.
Today, those residents literally rallied against that. They say in this rental market, in a pandemic, they need more time. They want financial assistance for their moving expenses. For folks who are disabled, unable, or unwilling to move, they want to be able to stay where they are.
No one here is saying that a landlord can't terminate leases. No one is saying that a landlord can't buy a building and change a building. But what's happened here is based upon lies.
Their attorney says those demands are reasonable.
Each of these stories involves a bait and switch. In the law, we call it an unfair trade practice. They were asked to sign something. They were given promises. The promises were false. They never intended to enter into it.
Aimco says it's reached out to each and every resident to provide assistance and help facilitate a smooth transition, that it's considering any and all hardships and working with residents on a case-by-case basis.
This is inhumane, this is villainous, and we are not going without a fight.
And back live here, Congresswoman Federica Wilson staffers, we've learned, met with some of these residents, and the Congresswoman, I should say, also sent a letter to the property managers asking those property managers to consider the request that these folks are making for more time, for rental assistance, and so we'll see what happens going forward. In the meantime, this is not the first time that the owners of this property, or I should say the new owners, have done this here in South Florida. More on that tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live here in Miami's Edgewater neighborhood. Laren Livingston, Local 10 News.